Hey everyone, Becky Wandel here from PBS NewsHour Student Reporting Labs. According to a 2018 Pew Research Center study, most Americans get their news on social media. But we know that's not the only kind of information we're getting from our favorite apps. Do you ever question whether a post is actually news or something else? It's tricky, but we have a few tips to help you sleuth out news from other kinds of info. Think of it like a stoplight. If a post's main objective is to inform, that's good. Like a green light telling you, go. Trusted outlets sharing factual information is great. Look for plain, impersonal language focused on giving you the facts. But let's say you've never heard of that source. When you come across a journalist or an outlet you're not familiar with, check their bio. If they seem fair and focused on informing you, that's a green light. Now, yellow light posts, think of these as the ones that are trying to persuade you. This is where it starts to get a little tricky. Step one is to look for transparency. Reliable news sources will always clearly mark their opinion or editorial content as separate from their news reporting. If a source doesn't do this, ask yourself why. They may not be very trustworthy. It's also important to question the source's motivation. Why does this person want to persuade me? And what do they hope to get out of it? In this opinion Twitter thread, one writer is criticizing an article that he says promotes dangerous diet tips. He's personal, emotional, and persuasive. Classic yellow light stuff. To me, this is one of the ones that's worth reading, because I think he's sharing his opinion for good reason, to help others and change the culture. But there are a lot of people out there sharing opinionated posts for more selfish reasons, like gaining followers or just wanting to hear themselves talk. Sometimes even sharing opinions not grounded in facts at all. Powerful corporations, media companies, and even entire governments are harnessing the power of social media to further their interests, which may not always align with yours. If you don't think someone's adding to the conversation or helping you see things differently, they may be one of those yellow light sources that isn't worth your time. And finally, there are posts that are trying to sell you something. These can be straight up ads disguised as news. This one says paid post at the top, and the byline is from Hot Wheels, which is labeled as a brand publisher. That's an ad. Other posts might be sponsored by some outside party. These posts may look like news, but ultimately they're ads. So always be on the lookout for those small sponsored indicators. So yes, keep scrolling through your social media, but be skeptical. Use the stoplight method to figure out people's intentions and clean up your following list. Remember to make sure you're using social media to your advantage, and not the other way around.